Hi guys, how you doing? I'm back at my favorite place in Arkabrüga. I've been for a walk for like 3.5 kilometers, but I got caught in the rain, so I cut it out 'cause I only had a t-shirt. So I stopped walking, and now I'm sitting by one of the bars in Arkabrüga, namely Espresso House. So I hope you're doing good. It's Thursday afternoon, about 3:30, and hope you're doing good, enjoying your day, night, evening, afternoon, depending on where you are. You come to Jeff Baker's _ adventures. I've been going at this for a little while. It's slow, but I enjoy it, documenting what I'm doing from day to day. And I was going to put a video out last night, guys, about a white guy, calls himself White Yardy, and he was born in the UK. His mama was living in Jamaica, but she didn't trust the health system, so she took him to England and gave birth to him in England. And then, after 3 months, she took him back to Jamaica. So he lived in Jamaica from age 3 months until 18. Then he moved back to the UK. He met up with some other yardies. A yardie, by the way, is someone that's living outside of the UK, Jamaican. Yeah. But it's got a wrong stigma to it. They say that they're all villains and like no good people, but it's not true. You know how they do. They just make up stories and people follow. But anyway, so we went back to the UK, met some other yardies, and started. To be honest, we started wheeling and dealing, and then somehow we got into the comedy game, and has done pretty well for himself. He's performing in the UK, touring in the UK, Canada, America, amongst other places. But I just want you to check him out and listen to his accent. It interests me because I'm born in Jamaica. I came to England when I was 8, so I'm the opposite from him. It's a different problem, but stories for other days. But anyway, listen, I want you to check him out, and then the video is about 1 hour, but I'm going to play only about 5 or 10 minutes, and then you tell me what you think, and then I'll get back to you at the end of the video. Okay, guys? And if it's your first time on the channel, like I said, you know the drill. All right, peace.
Who is White Yardy?
White Yardy. The name says it all. You know, when you buy a bottle of water, it says water. That's what it is. But no, White Yardy, for those who don't know, I'm White Yardy, the stand-up comedian. Also, White Yardy, the name was given to me. It wasn't a name I gave myself. You know, it's a name that was given to me as well. But yeah, so stand-up comedian, funny guy, you know, make you laugh.
And for someone who doesn't know what Yardy means, what's a Yardy?
Yardy is basically a nickname for somebody who is from Jamaica. Yard is another name for home, you know what I mean, as well. Obviously, yard, when you think of yard, you think the back of the yard, backyard. But yard is a nickname for Jamaica. And in some people give you a nickname, they call you a Yardy because you're from Jamaica. Oh, he's a Yardy, he's from Jamaica. You know what I mean? I think years ago, again, it's a name that not everybody, funny enough, not every Jamaican really likes the name Yardy because of what it comes with. Years ago, it had a very bad reputation because in the newspapers over here, way back, this is before I was even here anyway, is that when you used to hear in the papers, oh, the Yardies this, Yardies gangs, so it had a bad name back then. But when, obviously, with me, it doesn't have a bad name.
Yeah, I mean, one of my early memories with my granddad from Ghana was he was having a kind of argument with a younger member in the family. They used that word Yardy, and I remember him saying, do not use that word. Don't use that. That's not a good word.
So Yardies did have a bad reputation because of the media and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's always revolving around like gangs and drugs. But you know, it's not. You know what I mean? It is what it is. But it's not that, no. Yeah.
But that's it. Instead of listening to the media today, we're here with a real Yardy or maybe a real Jamaican.
That's right, correct.
To hear about what was life like growing up in Jamaica. What was the culture like? We want to know from your perspective, what is it like there?
Jamaica's nice, man. Like, when you live in Jamaica, you don't worry about nothing much. You know what I mean? Like, it just feels, I always use the word like, because where I grew up in Jamaica is the country area as well. So it's not in the city like Kingston or Montego Bay, which are like the major cities. It is in a country area. St. Elizabeth is the parish. So Jamaica has 14 parishes, which is like over in England, they call them like counties or, boroughs or something like that. But we have parishes, and I'm from a parish called St. Elizabeth. And in that parish, you have a town called Black River. That's the town that I grew up in. Very small town, quiet town. Everybody knows it. Everybody in that area, you know what I mean? Which is funny enough, because when you live like in England now, and you say to somebody, you meet somebody who is from that area, and you be like, yo, where you come from? I be like, oh, St. Elizabeth. Which one? Black River. Yeah, man, you know the Browns? It's like you have to know everybody. Yeah, man, we know the Browns. You know the Whites? Yeah, man, we know the Whites. You know the Eubanks? It's like, yeah, we know the Eubanks. It's like, that's what it's like. Yeah, man, them have the big house and rare. Yeah. So, we have, that's what it's like. But what I always use the word for me is freedom growing up in Jamaica, because it just felt like you didn't feel pressured growing up. It just felt, like life was in the countryside's nice. Yeah, your friends meet up. You can go out on meet up during the day on a weekend. You end up leaving here and end up down there. You go to the river. You go fishing. You get fish out of the river from the sea, you cook it, you climb trees, you pick your mangoes, your guineas, you pick your fruits fresh, and we play with what we have. We may do with what we have there, you know what I mean? Like, even playing football. We used to make football out of box strings. Like, we have box strings, which is a juice. It's like a carton, right? Okay. Carton, yeah. So let me explain it to everybody. It's a carton, but we used to open it up and then stuff other rubbish inside to like fill it up. So now it's like, then you seal it up, tie it up, and now we have like a ball that we can kick around with and stuff like that. And so it was just that type of life. Like, growing up was felt a lot like, nice, man. We had the beach, we had the seaside, you have sunshine, just nice vibes, man. It just felt good. You know what I mean? We feel as one people. That's one of the key things as well. We all just felt like one people out there, man.
Because I know the motto of Jamaica is out of many, one people.
Yeah, out of many, one, yeah.
So I know nowadays, I don't want to go too deep into it, but there's this media stuff of like, oh, but then it's black culture and then it's this and that. But in Jamaica at that time, like when you say you were in, what's the area? Black River.
Yeah.
Were there people who looked like you, or was it mainly black Jamaicans, or was it a mix? Like, what kind of, how was it at that time?
Yeah, there definitely was. All right, look, Jamaica, for example, we know it is predominantly a black country. 100%. There's no going around that. But there's a lot of mixtures of people within the country as well. Like, even the area that I'm from, right? St. Elizabeth and that parish. You even find out that there's a lot of fair skin, like lighter skin people there, like brown. We used to say brown or fair skin in Jamaica, you know what I mean? Coolie as well is a word that they use as well, which is like for like Asian look, Indian looking, So we have a lot of that around this area, and people know that about that parish, because even when I say to people, yo, St. Elizabeth come from, it makes sense. You're red like them. You know what I mean? Like it's we have an area in St. Elizabeth called like Southfield Flaggerman. And in this area, the ground is red. Like, the ground is red. Its dirt is red. But it's rich for farming, because a lot of farming happens in St. Elizabeth. St. Elizabeth is known as a farming parish. But they used to say, oh, because the dirt is red, that's why everybody down there red. You know what I mean? Like we're waking up and running around in the red dirt, But, like, there's a lot of mixture down there. And nobody made anybody feel like they're different. To be honest, I always tell people this, and I didn't even know about racism until I came to England. Do you understand what I mean? Like, I didn't know that was a thing because I never experienced it and I never seen it because it didn't exist to me. It was never shown there in Jamaica, you know what I mean? And it's only when I came to England I realized these things. You know, I know now people use this word that I didn't even know about as well. As like, you might not have seen racism, but there definitely was like colorism or something like that. So because you're lighter, you'll be treated different. And I'm like, well, I didn't. So, you know what I mean? Like, I was not treated no different. Nobody made me feel any different from them. As far as I was brought up and raised, is that we are all just one people here. And, you know, when I went to school, if I did something wrong in school, the teachers beat me. They're not going to say, oh, we're not going to beat you because you're white. We're going to beat you because you're... They never did that. I got the same treatment throughout my whole life. Yeah, so...
Yeah, I think that's a huge difference. Here in the UK, we're kind of obsessed about telling everyone you're different.
Yeah,
we say we're celebrating it, but it does make us feel a little bit divided.
Yeah.
But when I lived in Reunion Island, they're all mixed there. There's Chinese Creoles, there's Indian Creoles, Muslim Creoles, Hindu Creoles, white Creoles, like the fairer skinned ones, like you said. They have names for those. And you would call people by the name of their skin color.
Brother, let me tell you something. Like, do you know that this country, coming to England, living in England, it made me, not say afraid, but it made me very cautious of using certain words to say something because of how it can be perceived by whoever's hearing it. Like, yo, if somebody asks me, oh, whose buckler water is this? And it's not mine, and it's the guy's over there, and he's a black man. I should be able to say, it's the black man's over there. Not feeling like, oh, I just said black man. He's a black man. You know what I mean? Like, what? I didn't say anything wrong. What is wrong is when you use certain words. Like, I remember one time I was working for a delivery company, and me and my work colleague was doing the delivery. He's a black man. His background is Barbados. He's Bayesian, so his parents are from Barbados. I remember, like, he had the paper. No, I gave the paper to the guy who was delivering the stuff to sign, but they had more stuff to bring in. So my colleague came in before me. I didn't know that, and he got the paper. It was signed, and he took it out. So when I came back in to get the paper because I gave it to him. And I was like, oh, do you have the paper, sir? And he's like, oh, I gave it to the color fella. And I'm like, huh? He said, what? He said, yeah, your colleague. I said, no, what did you say? He said, and he was, I said, he's not colored. He's a black man. You could have said, I gave it to your black colleague. I gave it to your colleague. As a matter of fact, you could have just said, I gave it to the other guy. But and I'll be honest, I don't think he was being racist. I just think he didn't know that he could say black. I had to tell him, you can say black. There's not an issue with saying that. But it's because of the society we live in, people are scared. Now, if you're saying things and you be like, yo, that black guy, and you're using aggressive behavior behind it, now we have to look at why you're saying his color in what you're saying. You understand what I mean? But you can say, yo, yeah, man, oh, the black man over there. Oh, yeah, the tall black guy. It's okay. I went to school. I had a friend. His name was Blacker because that's what everybody called him. Everybody called him Blacker. He answers to the name. If you ask him what's his name, he says Blacker. I had another friend was called Blacks because Blacker was taken. He had to come up with something different. We had different. They used to call me white man, red rat, white mice, complexion. You know what I mean? Like, it is what it is. Like, this is when we live in this country here, it's different. It's different here, man. So, yeah, man.
I found that so much on the Creole Islands as well, that it just wasn't an insult because they don't see it as a bad thing. Oh, that's the Arab.
Yeah.
That's the black guy.
Yeah.
That's the Indian guy.
Yeah.
They're not offended. Why should I be offended that you're telling me what I am? You know, it's not an...
You see, Jamaican culture, yeah? I promise you, like, if you're sensitive, don't come around Jamaican culture.
There you are, guys. So there you go. That's White Yardy. And I think he's a good guy the right guy to represent Jamaica because he's very articulate. And he's speaking in a way that you can understand because you can also speak Jamaican patois in a way that you don't understand. Jamaican patois being a mixture of African, English, Spanish, and he's learned how to put it together so he can get over to people. So it's about Yardy. This video really is about what a Yardy is, and I think he's explained it very well. So leave a comment if there's anything you want to know about Jamaica. I can fill you in, and thanks for listening. Hope you enjoyed it, and bring you some more content soon. Stay cool. Peace.